It seems no other gold making content creator will tell you this, but I will. This video may very well torpedo my career as a gold making content creator, but I don't care. What I do care about is being real and calling things as I see them, so here it is. Gold making is dead in Dragonflight. Yes, that is being hyperbolic of me, but let me explain what I truly mean by that statement. Now, this isn't to say you can't make gold. You can still do flips and shuffles, but my focus is more about making gold with professions for the average player. The days of what I would call reliable, or let's just say simple gold making, are gone as far as this expansion goes. Try as I must, I cannot find a reliable source of gold income. I cannot find a niche. I have to be constantly jumping around trying to find even the smallest of markets to then be almost immediately shut down and start hemorrhaging gold. Alchemy? Poof. Enchants? It's a wazzy, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. Reagents? Nah, fam. Crafted gear. Here's a silver for you, you starving artisan pleb. No, this is easily the most chaotic market I have ever seen. Let's start with the auction house. You would think that an item would sell for above crafting cost, right? Wrong. Not if you are in any of the new markets. Right now, those items are selling below crafting cost. Why? Well, because of this whole new quality system. A system that has effectively stolen profits from quality 1 and quality 2 items and has redistributed them to the highest quality items, quality 3, which cannot be achieved independently. Not unless you craft those lower qualities at an automatic loss and then pray to the RNG gods that you can recoup the losses on your quality 3 inspiration, multicraft, and resourcefulness procs, and make a profit. Meager profits, I might add, since you are still in a very competitive market to which you already entered in the red, and in some cases, you stay in the red. To which I ask myself, who is it that is posting these items at such a loss? I can understand selling at cost and maybe eat the auction house cut, but not at a significant loss, and especially not as a heavy loss as I have seen some of these items go for. Is it just dumb crafters that unwittingly tank markets? Or is it some mega goblin subsidizing these items to quash any would-be competition? Who knows? But that is where this wacky market is at this time. It's turned into some socialized subsidy for players that have no problem not getting the best quality items. Players can actually farm the materials, get paid for them, and then buy them back in a way of a finished product for less than they sold the original materials. Amazing. This whole quality system has been a huge mistake and should be removed from the game in the next expansion, since I don't believe it can be fixed in the current. It's too baked in to reformulate. In some markets, the items' quality were made instantaneously irrelevant, since they can be made at the highest quality by the time you learn all the crafts from your trainer. I'm looking at you, Ceravite bolts. So why then? Quality system, big fail. Now let's move on to the other innovation of this expansion, crafting orders. Crafting orders are a resounding, cacophonous failure. From the fact that you can't specify and require quality, to there not being any damn public orders to fill, to then intermediate items like reagents made available to the effect of a bucket of water is to a forest fire, to then those crafts being made immediately irrelevant since you only get 4 banked crafts at a time and regenerate about 1 craft a day, and are only going to spend those charges on crafts that are most profitable for you, to now not even bothering with those crafting orders, since players are complete douchebags and will list things for literally 1 silver, and you won't bother crafting it unless you need the skill up or the knowledge point, to then just realize your profession is worthless and ask yourself why you keep bothering yourself with it, to then taking a hit of copium and think, but what if it gets better later? Well, here's a newsflash. It won't. They will keep getting away with it because there will always be someone leveling their profession and not minding getting hustled for a knowledge point or a skill. That douchebag got his rank 5 item crafted for silver, and there will always be others just like him, and worse, with lots of alts. Because let's face it, folks, most WoW players are a bunch of cheap sons of bitches, and if they can abuse the system, they will. They don't value a crafter's hard work. They think, or like to think, it's just a couple of button presses. And while that may be true in the end, there was a lot of time and gold invested just to get to that point. But on the other hand, I do realize the WoW player has better things to spend their gold on. They need it for their Mythic Plus carries and their furry ERP sessions. So who could blame them, right? Another reason why you won't make any gold this expansion is knowledge points. You would think that typically one would gather knowledge and experience by crafting an item over and over, literally gaining experience by doing the same thing again and again. Well, as far as Dragonflight is concerned, no. Well, maybe just a teeny bit for tradition's sake, but in the end, you'll just be turned over to the knowledge points. Basically, just go out and farm knowledge each week, and you will magically get better at something without ever having crafted a single item. Magic. As much as Shadowlands legendaries were maligned, for crafters, the system was very straightforward and simple. Craft, gain experience, and rank up. If you wanted to rank up or catch up, you just had to craft. But now, if you miss a week or you don't squeeze out all the ways you can get knowledge points, you are behind with no reliable way to catch up. Some have said that you eventually will catch up since there is only so much knowledge to learn, but at that point, what are you catching up to? A dead market? Then why bother? But here's the kicker. These knowledge points are non-refundable and have to be put in sectioned off areas of your profession that can be totally pissed away if you make a mistake or change your mind, and you are now even more behind when you try to pivot. Do you continue then putting points in your bad or undesired specialization? It's just more roadblocks that get in your way of profitability. If you ever even get there and then suddenly realize that the promised land is actually a wasteland. You might be asking yourself, is any of this fixable? Do I have any suggestions to how this could be fixed? Well, my answer to that would be, maybe, but more than likely no. Nevertheless, here is what I think could possibly be fixed. Knowledge points could be either more accessible, or there could be a once or very infrequent refund option, or both. More of the items learned from the profession trainers stay at least green, if not yellow, to help you get to 100 base skill. If getting rid of the crafting order system is not possible, then make crafts require a minimum rank requirement, just like it currently has with missives and other optional additions that are locked behind knowledge and prohibit you from taking up the order. Make most, if not all, items bind on equip. Get rid of inspiration. Remove first craft and skill up from crafting orders so tips actually matter and are subject to market forces. Remove sparks of ingenuity and chaos material requirements from crafts. And finally, add recrafts to the public crafting order. This is by no means extensive, but it is what I think are the major pain points. I don't think any of these fixes will be implemented for many ingrained reasons, but maybe they could be in the next iteration of professions. I believe it is a clear indictment of the new profession system revamp that the most profitable professions in the beginning, and possibly still to this day, is the gathering professions. I remember a time where gathering was looked down upon, particularly from some goblins. But this time, gatherers were laughing all the way to the bank. Not so much so right now, but they still have it a lot easier. No running numbers, no annoying quests, not having to deal with crafting orders or the general public. Just gathering while they enjoy the sights, doing some quests on the side, and possibly all the while waiting to join a dungeon, a raid, or a PvP match. It is no wonder why I've recently seen a flood of gatherers, and as a consequence, prices sharply falling for materials. There are those that argue that professions are fun and they don't care about making gold, and more power to them. But when you're trying to make a little extra to get those goodies, be it consumables, or toys, or what have you, then I think this revamp has failed those players. And it didn't have to be this way, but it wasn't tested, or thoroughly tested, and there were no ripcords or safety mechanisms put in place to salvage a troubled system. The only advice I can give you is to do the work yourself, do the research, and find something that works for you. It won't be easy, and you may still make mistakes regardless. I know I have, and very recently. So just do the best you can with what you got. Okay, another reason why you won't make gold in this expansion is content creators. Yes, with gold making opportunities being so scarce, realize that one day you might just end up getting blasted by one of these gold making content creators, exposing your little profitable corner of the market, and as a consequence, ruining it. Sorry, no fix there. That's just how these things are these days. Speaking of which, my advice for those newcomers wanting to make gold and come across their videos is basically don't watch them anymore. Don't waste your time. Resist the urge and the curiosity to click on those cringy and vapid thumbnails with text that says insane or crazy or make millions doing this. But if you do, be smart and quickly realize which of these creators is just smoke and mirrors. And find the ones that actually provide genuine advice and value and not these get-rich hustlers. It sickens me that these people get thousands of views on some half-truth, low probability, or more than likely an already dead opportunity. Most just want to peddle you some gold making guide or some other gold making ware, and some I suspect just need an ego boost by telling you just how much more gold they have made by no-lifing it and having 10 plus accounts running constantly and having hundreds of millions of gold to manipulate markets and make even more gold because having a gold cap is just not enough. They are not the norm, they are the exception, they are the fringe, they are not you and me. The market is its own beast, but this one is savage and brutal. As of this writing, I have lost about 1 million gold, mostly because I've been testing markets, investing heavily in professions with epic and blue tools and equipment, and not sticking to some trickle markets because, well, I like to make a decent return on my investment, but in retrospect, I should have stuck with them. Of course, I wouldn't have known that if I had not ventured out. My focus right now is not to make gold, but to save as much of it as I can and have it ready for when the market is better or an opportunity arises. My shift with professions has been of self-reliance to help with said gold saving. I'll keep stocking up on knowledge and only commit it if it benefits my current goals. Let's hope some changes come and we can get back to making some decent gold. Thank you for your recent support. I really appreciate it, and especially any I may get after this video. I'll continue to make content about World of Warcraft because, well, I'm addicted, and I still love it too much. I hope you keep coming back. Please let me know what you think, if you agree or you disagree, if you have any ideas or suggestions. Are you making any gold? I would really like to know what you think. Oh, and if you watch any other gold making content creators, tell me who and what you like and who you don't. It's the only favor I ask. Your feedback. Now, back to making zap throttles. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.